Hello traders, my name is Tomasz Wiśniewski, I'm a Chief Analyst in Alpari Research and Analysis, and this is Daily Analytical Report. The first one this week, where I will show you what is going on the charts, and we will try to look for decent trading occasions, and we start this week relatively easy in terms of the macro calendar, in terms of the fundamental analysis macro data. Because as you can see on Monday, we didn't have any major data being published. Today also, we do not have Tier 1 data, only PMIs from Eurozone and from US. As for now, we had PMIs from Germany and from Eurozone. From Germany, better than expected. From Eurozone, a little bit worse. Still waiting for those from United States. Remember, if you're opening a position on Australian dollar, be aware of the fact that overnight we'll have CPI from Australia, very important data for the traders for the Australian dollar itself. That would be it, guys. On Friday, I told you that from the fundamental point of view, this week should be relatively easy. So no major market movers. So we can focus on the technical analysis, and we'll start with Euro to Australian dollar, which is still in this sideways trend between the horizontal resistance marked with blue color and horizontal support marked with pink color. And this is H4 chart. On a daily chart you also see this. And we are just waiting for the breakout. Breakout will show us a direction, and that for sure will be an interesting trading opportunity to go with this breakout, because many people are waiting for that and expecting some attractions here. And a breakout can bring us a good trading opportunity here. Personally, I would prefer breakout to the downside, because that would create a head and shoulder formation, so potentially a very lucrative trading opportunity. But I will trade the breakout anyway, even if it will be to the upside. Gold yesterday, very negative session, because on Friday it all ended on a positive side, because the price created inverse head and shoulder formation, left shoulder, head and right shoulder. We broke the neckline, we broke the horizontal resistance here, but Monday brought us a smaller head and shoulder formation, breakout of the orange support, and a decline, as you can see on the daily chart. Thursday was positive, Friday was positive, so we got 3 candles with long tails. But Monday wasn't too good. Today we are trying again to defend this horizontal support. Here, this red line. That candle from the last week was quite alright. As you can see, that was kind of a hammer on a horizontal support, but traders are not following this signal at the very beginning of this week. So maybe we won't get a proper buy signal on gold, which is suffering heavy losses. There's this downtrend line here. Breakout of this downtrend line can bring us a positive sentiment. Also, it would mean a comeback above the uptrend line. So price coming back above the combination of those and actually above the orange area will be a nice buy signal. But it's still far, unfortunately, for the buyers. Next one is Australian dollar to New Zealand dollar, which is having a symmetric triangle. Also a head and shoulder pattern, but the thing is that, as you can see on hourly chart, we stopped on a horizontal support here. So as long as we are above the pink area, there is no sell signal, but price breaking the pink area, and it's not very wide. As you can see, they respect that with a high accuracy. It's here 106.10, let's say 106. Yes, and this is a good support here. Once the support will be broken, we will have a major sell signal on Australian dollar to New Zealand dollar, with quite good risk to reward ratio because this blue area is a support. So here stop loss, here 30 pips, take profit 90, 3 to 1 in terms of the risk to reward ratio. That is definitely a desirable value. So here is the resistance price. Once they're gonna break the support, they should not come back above the resistance. So that is an interesting trading opportunity. Sell here, here, and maybe we'll get the signal overnight when we'll have a data from Australia. A worse data from Australia should cause a decline here and possibly this scenario. American dollar to Japanese yen created a nice candle yesterday because it was a hammer. And this hammer did not happen in a random place because this hammer happened in a combination of two important supports. So as you can see, first let me show you the weekly chart. This is downtrend line broken. Downtrend line was tested as a resistance, and the red line is a midterm uptrend line, and it also those two were tested at one place. So this area is super important support. Also we can draw a horizontal support here. So daily candle was alright, but today the price is reversing. Maybe they will try double bottom formation, and double bottom formation here. So price bouncing from this area and coming back above the green area will be an ultimate buy signal for the American dollar to Japanese yen, like a proper long-term trading opportunity, and I'm looking forward for it. Bitcoin, that was a good one. So it all started here in the beginning of June. The Bitcoin created inverse head and shoulder formation, left shoulder, head and right shoulder. We broke the neckline, and that gave us a bullish momentum. The price went higher, the price created a rectangle, the price broke the upper line of the rectangle and then aimed the downtrend line here, and we broke this downtrend line. So the positive sentiment is back on the Bitcoin. We bounced from 5,700, now we are on almost 8,000. So as you can see, that is a significant upswing of at least $2,300. And if we look on a daily chart, that can open as a way towards the resistance here on 9,000, let's say 9,600, $700. So the buy signal is back on the Bitcoin. British pound, Canadian dollar here. Well, again, I was thinking that this trading opportunity is awesome, is great, is absolutely amazing, but the price today is trying to go higher. But let me show you what's going on here. So there is a downtrend, there is a correction, and we broke the lower line of this correction, which in theory brings us a sell signal. We broke this line, which brings us a sell signal. This correction ended with a head and shoulder pattern and a rectangle here. We broke the neckline. Most recently, we tested this neckline as a resistance with a shooting star, and I entered with a short position on this level. And it was quite alright, but today the price tried to come back above this resistance again. Obviously, my stop loss is somewhere here. We are back below one resistance. We bounced from the second resistance, and that is, in my opinion, well, from the technical point of view, all factors are bearish. So I do not even hesitate if I have to open this position, because look, support, 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 broken support, resistance, resistance. That is a double test of the resistance, and in every price action book, in every technical analysis book, they will tell you that this is a proper sell signal. So, well, without any doubts, that's a sell order for me. But as you can see, the price is resisting that. The price is pushing higher. We'll see. Breakout of the pink line will be a buy signal. Next one is New Zealand dollar to American dollar. This line is no longer relevant. This line is, this is. So what we are slowly getting here is a symmetric triangle pattern. Come back above the orange line, buy signal, breakout of the lower black line, sell signal. actually a bounce from this area will be a sell signal as well, but nothing major here. Euro dollar is locked in a sideways trend that is a symmetric triangle pattern. Those red lines, that is a rectangle, those blue lines. Price is trying to create inverse head and shoulder formation, most probably here. On a daily chart, that is a big head and shoulder formation. So breakout of the lower blue line, which is the neckline, will be a major trigger to open a short position, and the price coming back above the blue line will be a signal to go long. So this is the situation on euro dollar. There is no major signal as for now. WTI oil, they bounce from the horizontal support from the long-term uptrend line, but the price is hesitating right now. Maybe they will try to test this one more time, but I don't see any proper trading signal here yet. Actually, if we consider it an hourly chart, what it is a flag. So a downswing flag, breakout of the lower line of the flag should result in a further downswing. Cable broke the lower line of the symmetric triangle, tested that as a resistance, and we should go lower. But as you can see here, we do have this attempt for a reversal, which obviously can be seen also on British pound to Canadian dollar. There is an attempt for a reversal for British pound on all crosses, and we will see where it will go. From the technical point of view, that's nothing major, so actually I'm gonna remove this chart to keep my setups clean. Silver, that is an interesting situation because, well, on a daily chart you can see this orange support which was broken, right? It's important. And broken support was tested as a resistance, and most recently the price created a wedge pattern. Those red line is a wedge. Wedge, as everybody expected, because that is what the technical analysis is telling us, that in a downtrend we should see the breakout of the lower line of the wedge. So we saw the breakout of the lower line of the wedge and the price went lower. But today buyers are trying a reversal, and this creates a left shoulder head and a right shoulder, so possibly an inverse head and shoulder pattern. So the breakout of the black line will be a buy signal, but for the proper buy signal I would wait for the breakout of the orange line. A comeback of the price coming back above the orange line will be a sign for a bullish reversal, supported by this inverse head and shoulder formation and by the fact that we had a false breakout here. Swiss franc to Japanese yen, that is super interesting setup for me because I do see a very strong bearish potential here. This is a weekly chart, double top formation, support of the double top formation, breakout, and last week and 2 weeks ago we tested that twice as a resistance. Last week resulted with a shooting star pattern. On a daily chart, we also see this horizontal resistance here. So we broke this but came back below. So this is a false breakout on a daily chart. This is a shooting star on a weekly chart. And on H4 chart, we do have a left shoulder, head, and a right shoulder, head and shoulders pattern. So we are above the neckline right now as we speak. Every textbook of the technical analysis will tell you that the breakout of the neckline will give you a strong sell signal. Price tried today 1, 2, 3, 4 times. The selling pressure is on. And in my opinion, price closing an hourly candle below the pink area will be a strong sell signal. And that will be a sell signal in the long term. Because if you sell here, stop loss above this area, 60 pips, first take profit is here, but overall we should get like 300 pips movement. So risk to reward ratio is very good here. that can be really great trading opportunity. Next one is American dollar to Swiss franc. So, and here I'm seeing a short position. So here I'm buying franc, here I'm selling franc. That is, we do have opposite signals on franc. And if I'm selling here, I'm selling American dollar. If I'm selling here, I'm buying a Japanese yen. So that means a long position on American dollar to Japanese yen, which we'll see a bit later, right? So from combination of those two setups, that gives a short position on American dollar to Japanese yen, and we'll see if the chart really shows that. Oh, I think we saw that already. I'm sorry. So that gives us a short position, but the thing is that this pair gives us a long position in the long term. So the perfect setup here would be a downswing of 40 pips and then a reversal. That would be absolutely amazing. But here, American dollar to Swiss franc. Daily chart shows you a rejection of this orange resistance. Also on a daily chart, we broke the long-term uptrend line. On a weekly chart, let's say. On a daily chart, I'm sorry. Here, breakout of this downtrend line. And after the breakout, we got a flag. Flag is a trend continuation pattern, so we should see a further downswing. But there is no sell signal yet. I think the sell signal will be triggered once the price will come back above the pink area and will break the lower line of the flag. According to the technical analysis, that would be a strong sell. Australian dollar to Japanese yen, that is a beauty because we had this false breakout, and look what false breakout cost. Huge reversal. I had a short position here, luckily I closed that on break-even point. But imagine going short here, that would be really nice. We do have a short position here. Potential target is on this support. Unfortunately, the risk to reward ratio is bad. So actually I'm gonna remove this to keep my charts clean. American dollar to Canadian dollar. Depends where you place a trend line, because you can place a trend line here, you can place a trend line here. Let's go with this option. On thing is, let me show you British pound. Okay, American dollar to Canadian dollar. Thing is that Canadian dollar should get stronger, because here you can see the drop on Friday caused by the data. And actually, almost always after a drop like that, you have a reversal, but this movement is continued. So we should see the continuation of the drop, especially that the price is back below 38.2. So this is a negative setup for this pair, and this setup promotes a further downswing, but it's not clean, unfortunately. I saw better setups in my life. It's only based on this principle that when you had such an important movement caused by fundamentals, it's usually followed. So it's very hard for the price to deny all this and climb back higher. So most probably drop, correction, and a further drop. And next one is Euro to New Zealand dollar. On the daily chart, symmetric triangle. Upswing, what we're having here is a flag, and flag should result with a further upswing. But for this we need to see the breakout of the upper blue line. Those were the instruments that I had prepared for you last week, and they are still actual. Now let me show you instruments from this week. Australian dollar to Japanese yen we had before, so I'm gonna pass on that and go to Australian dollar to American dollar straight away. Unfortunately, this congestion is not tradable, so that is a sideways trend. For the proper trading signal, we need to see the breakout of either those highs or those lows. So unfortunately, it's not tradable. On a weekly chart, that is a strong sell, but again, for a proper trading signal, we need to see the breakout of those lows. Euro to Canadian dollar, also a sideways trend here, as you can see. In a bit longer term, that is a flag, and flag should result with a further drop. Euro to Swiss franc. Here you can see the weakness of Swiss franc. But the thing is that the price created a beautiful head and shoulder pattern. Left shoulder head and a right shoulder. Now the price tries to come back above the neckline. If they will succeed, and they will succeed once the price will break this resistance, we'll have a buy signal on Euro to Swiss franc. But in overall, I would say that this is sell, so drop, correction, and we should see further drop. So that setup should result with a further downswing. That is a wedge. Wedge ends with a head and shoulder pattern when we have a drop here. We are still below those horizontal resistances. That is actually a good place to sell all this, which actually promotes the short position here. I'm sorry, sell here promotes is a buying of Swiss franc. So promotes sell here on American dollar to Swiss franc. Euro to British pound. Not this one. I need other template. On a daily chart, we can see that the British pound is trying to come back to some strength today. The buy signal is on. We're on a horizontal resistance, but this resistance should be broken. On daily, on hourly, that's a head and shoulder formation, which can bring us a small reversal, but as you can see, there is a strong horizontal support here, so drop here and a further upswing. But I don't like the situation on Euro to British pound. Most recently, for me, it's not tradable. Euro to Japanese yen. Last week was terrible. Weekly chart is terrible. I don't have good news for the traders. This support was broken. There is let me check this uptrend line. That will be the last support for the buyers. Once the support will be broken, we will have a strong sell signal. Yes, but nothing major. British pound to Australian dollar. No signal. British pound Swiss franc. That is actually can be interesting, because we had a rectangle here. Rectangle ended with a breakout, and now we are testing this line as a resistance, which should result with a further drop. British pound to Japanese yen. Here, no trading signal. No. We had this. New Zealand dollar to Japanese yen now. Not tradable. I don't see anything. Australian dollar to Canadian dollar. Also not tradable. Australian dollar to Swiss franc. Also Oh, those movements are terrible, guys. There is no directional movement here, just swings in both sides. Not good for trend followers. Canadian dollar to Swiss franc. That is a long-term sell. On a weekly chart you can see bearish engulfing, which can be potentially a good selling opportunity. But that's it. We have only candlestick pattern. That's not enough to open a position. Canadian dollar to Japanese yen. Also not much is happening here. New Zealand dollar to Canadian dollar. Here we should get something, because that is a symmetric triangle pattern, and soon we should get a breakout. There is a horizontal support here. Oh, that's a strong one, as you can see. That was a area with a huge significance for the long-term situation. So a breakout of the orange line can drive us here, where we can get a possible strong reversal or a breakout. Next one, New Zealand dollar to Swiss franc. Okay, it does not look so bad, because we do have this support tested as a resistance. We do have this dynamic support tested as a resistance. On H1 chart, we do have this and this. So breaking the lower, maybe let me, I want to change the color here. Breakout of the blue line will be a sell signal. Quite a good one. American dollar to Danish crown. On the H4 chart, that is a symmetric triangle. We are waiting for the breakout. It can be quite clean setup. For the buy signal, we need to see the breakout of this area. For the sell signal, we need to see the breakout of this uptrend line. As that can be an interesting trading opportunity. As a breakout to the upside will trigger inverse head shoulder formation. This is a setup similar to euro dollar, obviously, because Danish crown is correlated with euro. So it's better to enter in euro dollar than here, because you have lower spreads. Similar situation on American dollar to Singaporean dollar. British pound to New Zealand dollar. Okay, interesting and good horizontal support. Symmetric triangle. So you see, unfortunately, recent times are bad for my strategy, because we are in sideways trends. I don't trade in sideways trends. I follow trends. So I try to avoid situations like that. But maybe trends will come soon once we'll get breakouts from those areas. And yes, that's it for now. Thank you for attending daily analytical report. If you want more trading occasions, visit our Twitter account and our website alpari.news. And we will analyze rest of the instruments tomorrow. I don't like this situation now. I wish I had more directional movements, so far sideways trends, but well, trading is all about being patient. You don't always trade. Thanks very much, and see you in a half an hour. We'll have a webinar about the basics of the forex market.